Blue, I got respect for you, but this is a video response to Juggahoe's Juffaloe, and I'm going to touch base a little bit on your real Juggalos versus fake Juggalos. I saw a connection between the two. Your ideas seem to be pretty much the same. This had been made. You were down for 5 years when that video was made. This one was made almost exactly 24 hours ago. So here goes. Juggahoe is because they hate on you. But the term Juggahoe, when I was getting into it, when Halls of Illusion site was up, Juggahoes were people who acted like they liked the music, but they really didn't. Juffaloe, they fuck up rotation or whatever. I have a little something I want to show you. And I noticed this on eBay. I was over looking at ICP shirts, and there was this emblem. And I have the picture right here. It's a gold emblem. It's on the back of one of the t-shirts. And on this t-shirt, it's a circle, it's got the Hatchet Man, it's got Shaggy, Two Dope, and Violent J, and their heads are, you know, on opposite sides. I've got the picture, it's coming up right now, so I can give you a better picture of what it looks like. You've probably seen this circling around the internet. Most people use this, not either A, realizing it's sure, or B, they just don't care. However, on this shirt design, on this gold emblem, looks like a giant coin. It goes Carnival of Carnage, Ringmaster, Riddlebox, the Amazing Juggahoe Brothers, Great Malenko, and the Wraith on this picture. Now, you and me both know that that is not the correct order in which your cards go in. However, I would like to remind you that these shirts are officially licensed by Psychopathic Records. It used to be on Hatchet Gear for the longest time. Now you can go and find it on all these other different sites and what have you. Yep, it's right here. It's Shaggy, Two Dope, Violent J. Their heads are connected and they're looking at opposite sides of each other. It says Insane Clown Posse. It looks like one of them, you want to think like Egyptian or what have you. So anyways, I'm going to provide the link for this picture at the bottom of this video. So what you're saying is the people who made this shirt most likely work at Hatchet Gear are Juffaloes. I'm looking at it right now. It's a Hatchet Man. It's got like the Egyptian thing going around. It's Violent J over on this side. Shaggy Two Dope on this side. Like I said, it's got like leaves going around. And like I said, it looks kind of Egyptian. It's like it's a coin. It's a perfect circle. More emblems on it. But like I said, it goes Carnival of Carnage, Ringmaster, Riddlebox, Amazing Juggahoe Brothers, Great Malenko, and the Wraith. So whoever made this, whoever designed this, it's floating all over the internet, whom people are not noticing this, and I've noticed that people have not noticed this, or have, you know, decided not to say anything. They are Juffaloes. That is a shit ton of Juffaloes. Like I said, I'll provide that for you. I got it right here. This is something, Blue, I was going to wait to talk to you about today, but just so that way we can understand a little bit more about what you're talking about here. Here's something that pisses me off. This is from, I'm sorry, I forgot to tell you your name, Twisted Mike, TWIZTID Mike. Juggalo family chat member. Here's something that pisses me off. Everyone at some point comes to crossroads where they briefly lose faith in the family. What makes us family is that we are all unique, set apart from the norm social outcasts who society turns their backs on. What I see a lot of is when fam reaches those crossroads, the Juggalo community, not as a whole, jumps and attacks the wandering soul rather than accepting the way they feel or guiding them back to the light. People need to remember. The crows have ever overlooked. We gave you all they have. The carousel will spin on through the night. In Oz, I'd be the wizard because I'm overwhelmed. But we just hope the Joker cards point you out to the light so you'll be tight. Obviously taken from Into the Light. Walk into the light on Wraith Shangri-La. Instead of loving fam for who they are like we supposedly do, we hate on them and turn on them when they stray from the light. No one is perfect. Life situations will cause even the fullest of faith to become overwhelmed and think of dropping the hatchet. They are family, and as such deserve the love of the fucking family to help guide them back to the light. Anyone who thinks otherwise is full of shit. Just my opinion, though. I could be wrong. Anyone who thinks otherwise is full of shit. Just my opinion, though. I could be wrong. Doesn't sound like a very strong opinion there, Twisted Mike. However, I'm willing to look into this a little bit more and understand that when I got into this, and I'm going to admit this, I never once said whoop whoop. I didn't know what the hell whoop whoop was until I went to the 2008 Hall of Wicked show. I didn't know what the fuck the family thing was because in my town it was me, Justin Eldridge, and this group of kids that sat down at the table in the cafeteria. I was in 8th grade when I started hanging out with them. 9th grade? 8th grade going into 9th grade. That's right, because I got my first Hatchet Man charm that year. Okay, so, anyways, back to what I was saying. I got into this whole thing when I was 11 years old, didn't claim Juggalo until I was 13, so that was about 2 years. I was a fan of the music. But I wasn't first introduced to just ICP. I was introduced to a little bit of everybody through these mixed CDs. I talked about Nick Garrett a few times. However, I will say this. The family concept is simply this. Sense of community, or psychological sense of community, is a concept in community psychology and social psychology, as well as in other research disciplines, such as urban sociology, which focuses on the experience of community rather than its structure, formatting, setting, or other features. Sociologists, social psychologists, anthropologists, and others have theorized about and carried out empirical research on community, but the psychological approach asks questions about the individual's perception, understanding, attitudes, feelings, etc. about community and his or her relationship to it and to others' participation, indeed to the complete multifaceted community experience. For Saracen, psychological sense of community is the perception of similarity to others and acknowledged interdependence with others, a willingness to maintain this interdependence by giving to or doing for others what one expects from them, and the feeling that one is part of a larger, dependable, stable structure. McMillan and Travis, 1986, define sense of community as a feeling that members have of belonging, a feeling that members matter to no one other and to the group, and shared a faith that members' needs will be met through their commitment to be together. This is all psychology, which I thought was pretty interesting. Membership includes 5 attributes: boundaries, emotional safety, a sense of belonging and identification, a personal investment, and a common symbol system. Does that not sound like the Juggalo family to you? There are Juggalos who are like, yeah, I listen to the same music as you do. Whoop-de-fucking-do. Such as myself. We have the same kind of music. We have similar interests. Some of us like horrorcore. People like CPN absolutely hate horrorcore and horrorcore music artists. He called one of my all-time favorite music artists a faggot by pointing at a picture of him on a screen. Didn't hurt my feelings at all. I was just more curious. I'm like, why were you dissing on Mars? Like, what makes him a faggot? And then he was dissing on Joker, whom I have a whole lot of respect for. And he's also a Christian, so don't think this is about religion and shit to me. Personally, I'm an agnostic, which pretty much means I don't give a fuck if there's a God out there or not. Yeah, Blue. I'm honestly going to tell you this, and this is a firm belief of mine. ICP stepped into corporate land. Sorry, Joker, if I'm stepping on your toes a little bit. When they step into corporate land, you pay them grands, and they take it with their porkish hands. And then, when they started out dope, before they got big, they said it worked when they started making money and aborted the plan. I honestly feel that's what ICP did. Granted, I love their old music. I cannot stand Mighty Death Pop. Bang Pow Boom, in my opinion, had more tracks on it that were decent than Mighty Death Pop. Because Mighty Death Pop, they hyped it up to where it was supposed to be this grand album. This grand album where everyone was going to get called out, and it could be you, and it's dedicated to the FBI. And I got Mighty Death Pop. Here's my thing. I did not buy Mighty Death Pop. I listened to it on YouTube, thanks to the people who leaked it. And if I would have liked it, I would have bought it. I want to remind you, I bought all 6 Joker cards. I bought Bang Pow Boom, all 3 versions of it. I did not buy a single Mighty Death Pop album. However, what I did do is I downloaded Zodiac Mixtape, Abominations, and Schoolhouse Clock Extra Credit. Downloaded those songs. Downloaded the tracks. I still went out and bought them. Oh yeah, I'm sitting right over there. I just spent $55 on one CD that I wanted enough to quit smoking. I spent $55 on a CD that's used, but it's in very good condition. I have a lot of the songs off the CD. Mars Attacks. However, I wouldn't drop a dime on Crystal Skulls. I wouldn't drop a dime to Hatchet Gear. I wouldn't drop a dime to Mighty Death Pop. But does that mean I'm not going to listen to ICP? Check out their next album? I'll listen to it, because I'm not going to spend money on something that is complete and utter garbage. And that's exactly what Mighty Death Pop was. It was garbage. And then I listened to Crystal Skulls. I listened to the leak, and I went, if it's decent, I will buy it. However, people were like, well, you did leave a comment that said this is just more hype like they did with Death Pop to make sure that, we don't throw shit at this music artist. I said that. Yes, I did. Or at least right around the idea of that. But I listened to it and gave it a chance. And I was disgusted. I thought that was more focused on gimmick, less of music, and they did something for the fans to get behind him. And Hatchet Gear decided they were only going to post the positive posts, the short little blurb posts, on their Hatchet Herald to use as more advertisement for this guy. Because what they're going to try and do, and I can guarantee you this, what they're going to do is they're going to make it so that way they can have a big set for Hoodoo. Where it's like, skulls over here, skulls over there. Things dangling and shit. Because they want that. They're more focused on stage performances and putting on an act and dancing around and having all these gremlins and shit on stage than they are about most anything else. Even when, and I looked this up as Guido told me to, I looked this up. There was an interview with Violent J, and he said the Palladium was his 3rd favorite place to perform. Why was it his 3rd favorite place to perform? It had nothing to do with the fans. It had nothing to do with any of that shit. You know what it had everything to do with? The size of the stage for their set. Blue. ICP loves money. Shaggy 2 Dope even said it. He's like, our music sales aren't selling, so we need people to buy our merchandise. He said this after the Mighty Death Pop show on a radio interview. They are concerned about making money. However, I know of music artists who release free shit all the fucking time. They release free collaborations. They release, shit on iTunes, singles, stuff like that. And they're making money. These guys are phenomenal. Kung Fu Vampire, Kosher, Mars, The Underground takes care of their fans, and they're still making money. Loki is rising fast. Bloody Ruckus is rising fast. And they love doing the music. They love making music. But if they're willing to put out free tracks, free singles, and when's the last time ICP's ever done that? I'm sorry, they released one video for Father's Day for their father. Your prison guard in Arizona or whatever, what the fuck ever. Yeah. So, are you saying that they're the Juggahoes? That they're the Juffaloes? Because I've already shown you. Dude, the people at Hatchet Gear fucked up on a t-shirt with the Order of the Joker cards. And ICP obviously isn't about the family. They've proven that with the shit they've said in the past 3 months. Yeah, it hurts me too. Because I've been listening to music since I was 11 years old, dude. 11 years old. Now they just kind of didn't give a fuck after Hell's Pit.